The only people who don't want to disclose the truth are people with something to hide.
Live from San Diego, the fight for our country is here and now. With Robert, Justin, and Jason on Long Live America.
On the line, this is Susan Daniels, a wonderful Ohio licensed private investigator, the first lady, as mentioned in Jerome Corsi's Where's the Birth Certificate, the wonderful book that he wrote. And so she was the one that broke it. We can find it on our website, longliveamerica.com. We put all the files up there for people to download because you need to see this is an egregious fraud taking place. So I'd like to welcome to our show Susan Daniels. Thank you so much for joining us on Long Live America.
Oh, thank you so much for having me on.
Yeah. Susan, no, it's our pleasure because I don't know how nobody else besides yourself has looked into this, and boy, did you have a whopping discovery. Like, would you please just give us your credentials real fast, just simply for our listeners?
Yeah, I've been a licensed private investigator here in Ohio for 16 years. I have a bachelor's and a master's degree, and I'm certified as a paralegal. So I have the background, and I have the ability to do everything I do.
Okay, that's perfect. What tipped you off that Obama's been using a fake Connecticut Social Security number, 042684425?
I actually found it. I had a client that was not happy with the way things were going quickly in the government after he was sworn in, and asked me to see if I could find out anything about him. Well, I didn't expect to because usually, somebody like him, everything's been removed from public records. I have databases I can access because I am licensed, and I went to a very small, obscure one, and up pops a Social Security number for him, and with it, it says, issued in Connecticut, 1977 to 79. And I knew immediately that it was fraudulent because he was, it turns out it was exactly March 77 it was issued, and at that time he was in the 10th grade at Punahou in Hawaii.
We
Lovely.
hope.
Yeah.
No, Susan, this is just remarkable. So.
Yeah. Hey, Susan, is Social Security Verifier Plus that you took your info off of, is that the government website?
No. That's not. The only document there is the very last one, and which is a government site. But it's perfect because it pulls everything together. It's called the Selective Service Verification.
Okay, I see.
And what you do with that is anybody that's ever been in the military, you go to Google, you put in Selective Service Verification, you put in your name, your Social Security number, your date of birth, and up pops your Selective Service number. But on his, and he also, I believe, has a fraudulent Selective Service number, but on the verification for him, it shows up with the last four numbers of the Connecticut Social Security number. So they made a huge technical error when they phonied up a Selective Service card because they have tied him inextricably now to the Connecticut number.
Precisely. So, folks, like we said, longliveamerica.com, go to our media page. You may see Susan's wonderful, astounding work. It's all there. This is factual, tangible, reliable proof. As if the birth certificate wasn't enough, you have this. This is just hammering that. This is hitting the nail right on the head. I'll say this is indisputable proof. Correct, Susan?
Well, and I put the packet together as simply as I could. I just took select documents from longer printings that I had done and tried to make it as easy to understand as possible because I want to be able to send them to people like you for exactly what you did. You post them for other people to see.
No, we can't thank you enough because, as we said, nobody besides you that I know of has had the courage to delve into the Social Security number aside from Orly Tate's. And you know what? Like you said, you have every supporting document there. There literally is no question. We have
there is no
a Kenyan Muslim traitor baby killer in the office, and there's no disputing it.
Yeah, no, exactly. We're not trying to prove anything here. We've already proved it. We're just trying to show more examples, and this is fine. You've showed it, Susan. You've done a great job. We're just trying to expose it to more people.
This is the problem that I figured out is going on. There are all these different pieces. Like, I really am not involved with the, like the birther movement, or I'm not actively involved in any organized group. But each one has found something. Like the birth certificate, obviously it was forged. Obviously the COLB from the beginning was not accurate. But these are all individual pieces, so people can't wrap their heads around the fact that once you put all these pieces together, you really have something.
Yeah, no, I couldn't agree more. In fact, the selective service registration is what's fascinating me most all from, because it seems that like that clearly and directly ties him to everything, as you said.
It does.
I
mean, when I discovered that, it was like, this is the winning piece. I mean, this is the blue ribbon, because it's actually a government document. Now, you can no longer go on there and enter his stuff.
Of course.
But obviously, I got it before they shut it down, and I know a number of other people that have it. So the thing is, people were also, not only was I finding things, but people were sending me things which I was able to weave in among the things I found. And it really, it moved from one thing to the other with him.
No, I understand. In fact, we noticed on a selective service registration that the government stamp, it's missing the 19 out of the 1980 of the year.
So that's because in 2008, when they actually made that document, they couldn't find a 1980 stamp. So they would have taken a 2008 stamp and cut off the first 0 and the 2. And then flipped it over.
Oh, because I was going to ask, because compared to all the other applications at the time, is there any way that could possibly happen in 1980? I would think not.
No, because if you look at all the other ones that are included there, you will see they're within a day or 2 or 3 of him allegedly signing up. His is the only date where the date written on it and the stamp date are different. Every other one has the same date. If it's at August 2nd, the stamp's at August 2nd. But his is the only one that doesn't have the 19 in front of the year.
Wow, that's great. What's with the 1890 year of birth associated with Obama's name that's observed with his Chicago home registry? Is it just another alias to throw people off?
No, when I first found his Social Security number, and then I started running it against different databases for different things, because you use the databases for different information. And when I ran the Social Security Verifier Plus, up pops this year 1890 with his name, and then you'll also see that it has his birthday written in 2 different ways. One is the European way of doing it, putting the day before the month and then the year, and then the way we do it. Now, in 16 years, I have never seen anything like that, including a year like 1890. It's just the person's birthday is what you'll find. So right away, I see this. Well, it isn't until I get to the point where I notice on all his different addresses that had the Connecticut Social Security number, the same telephone number, which I think was probably a cell phone number because it was at all these different addresses. I decide to run that, and I do run it, and up pops on his date of birth, 1890.
Wow.
So, and Susan, would you please explain to us how Social Security numbers are issued?
They changed it in June. I think it was June 21st of this year that they're now randomly assigned.
Oh. But prior to that,
convenient.
How would Obama's have to have been assigned as all other human beings and Americans have had them?
Well, they up until June of this year, they were assigned by where you lived at the time you applied for them. They've added something new to the Social Security Administration Index Online, and it now talks about, it's not address, it's zip codes. Zip codes was never mentioned 2 years ago when I printed out all the original stuff, and I'm glad that I had the foresight to do that. They are assigned by where you lived when you applied. And he would have had to have had a residential address in Connecticut at the age of 15 to get the Social Security number he has. I ran probably at least a dozen numbers on either side of his. Every single one of them was a Connecticut. I have the actual document that was filled out by the number immediately before his for a Thomas Wood, and that came directly from the Social Security office with a certificate because he is deceased. And once you die, there is no longer an expectation of privacy.
Yeah.
So I have not only his number 24, but I also have number 29. So I have 4 numbers after Obama's, and they were all issued at the end of March in 77. That's why I know exactly when it would have been issued.
Oh my goodness! So
Wow.
yeah. Just to specify for our listeners, there is no way Barack Obama could have a 042 prefix in a Social Security number
not at
because
all.
he has never been, and his family have never been, much like Fox News when they lied about it, as a resident of Connecticut. There's literally no way. Isn't that correct,
No way.
Susan?
No way. When I heard, I never watch Bill O'Reilly because I think he's a pompous jerk. It just so
You're with
happened
good-
that
good
I
friends
was
here.
flipping channels the night, and it caught my attention. Somebody said, "Well, what about the Connecticut Social Security number?" And I sat here and watched him lie, and could not believe what was coming out of his mouth. Because in '77, Obama's father had been back in Kenya for 12 years already.
Yeah. No, of course. In fact,
No, we agree. Actually, Susan, I work in the banking industry, and I have clients whose Social Security number is 039. They're born in the 30s.
I'm not sure what you're asking me.
Well, no, I'm not saying the Social Security number he has for him to be his age is absolutely
No,
out to
it's-
lunch.
See, Connecticut numbers run from 040 to 049. So the people around him, they're all 042.
Oh, okay.
68, and then his is 4424. 4425. But everybody around him would have been in order.
Okay, well, you posted his selective service registration card, 61-112-5539-1, and the fake Connecticut Social Security number he used when filling it out. Does this prove that he personally forged this document?
No, but somebody did. And if you look at the registration letter that he would have received upon signing up for selective service, now that would be the letter that he would have gotten, because you see at the bottom of it, it says, here's your wallet-sized thing to carry around, clip and put it in your wallet. It's a dear registrant, you've now registered for selective service. But if you look on that form, the form says May 07. They weren't careful about the forms they used when they were filling out these phony documents for his benefit.
good God. It's all such
This is sad.
egregious mistakes. Obvious proof that Obama has been using a fake Connecticut Social Security number. There's no disputing it.
No, there is none, because I have, probably 8 pages or 10 pages of addresses for him for the last 25 years, including his law firm, in law firms in Illinois, the house he lived in, the condo that Michelle had when he married her. I have an address in Massachusetts where he lived when he went to Harvard. I have an address in Washington, D.C., when he was a senator. And all of these have with them the Connecticut Social Security number. And it's over a 25-year period.
Wow.
Wow, that's sad.
But the irony is, what confuses people is this number was supposed to be assigned in 77. And it probably was to the person that was actually born in 1890. My theory has always been, a Social Security didn't start till 1935, and it was voluntary. And many people in this country never got them. But my theory is that somebody born in 1890, in 1977, they needed government help somehow. Perhaps they were sick, they needed medical care or something, and needed a Social Security number. So one was assigned in that year to the person from 1890. Now, people want to say to me, well, why would somebody have given Obama that number in 77? Well, they didn't. I didn't find him using it until 1986, with the exception of that phony selective service card that says 1980. But at no point do I find an address for him prior to 1986 with the Connecticut Social Security number.
Wow. Susan, how many fake Social Security numbers has Obama used or possibly used besides?
You know what? I have only concentrated on the one. I know that there are other investigators that claim that they have found a lot of them. I don't believe that any of them have ever really been verified like I have verified the Connecticut one.
I see.
So,
Okay.
I mean, I know that there are people out there saying there's a whole bunch of them. Do I think there are others? Very likely. I was never able to prove it, so it's just one of those issues I stay away from.
Yeah. Susan, are Social Security numbers, are they ever reassigned? Or is
Never.
This is just a clear case of identity theft and fraud?
Right. They
Wow.
are never reassigned, even when a person dies. Never.
There you have it, folks. Wow. Rabbit just hopped out of the hat. No,
But you know what? I can't seem to get anybody interested. I have contacted more congressmen than you would imagine, especially the ones that are the most vocal about him, and I have never gotten a response from any of them, starting with Isa in California there, Boehner, Cantor, Rand Paul, Michelle Bachmann.
Oh,
Wow, they didn't.
there's
want
our
to touch
Tea
it, huh?
Party hopes. They're all complicit in this
Yeah.
media and government cover-up as well,
Yes.
huh?
I mean, I have probably contacted at least a dozen and a half congressmen, and early on I contacted Rush Limbaugh and Glenn Beck, 2 years ago, and they both completely ignored me.
God, we have a bunch of
Wow.
sellouts here. That's what's running our country. Media, government
see,
cover-up.
What bothers me is these people are out there, these people running for office or in Congress, running their mouths about how they're going to, Obama this, Obama that. I hand them what they need to demand an investigation, and they ignore it.
That's
I can't.
horrible.
So do you feel like taking a call? We have a lady here that wants to ask you a question.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Long live America. You're on the air with Susan Daniels.
Hi, Susan. I just wanted to know, you and many others have so much credible information indicting Obama. Why won't our liberal media carry any of this? Why won't Fox carry this? Hannity wouldn't even interview Jerome Corsi. Do you have any ideas on that?
Yeah, a large portion of Fox is owned by a Saudi prince.
Yep.
Exactly.
That's why. But I was told, I'm told a million things, and, you believe half of what you hear, but I am told that Fox, that these people know what their limitations are, that they are not allowed to address the eligibility issue at all. And same with Rush Limbaugh.
It makes me sick. It just makes they're all owned by people, and and people think that these people are conservatives, but they can't express themselves fully.
Well, it's a shame
are you
that they don't
afraid for
have
your
the
life?
courage
I mean, you're
to,
revealing the truth, but do you ever fear for your life?
Pardon me?
Do you ever fear for your life because you're revealing the truth?
No.
Really?
No. I refuse to be afraid to find out the truth.
Great answer.
Well, God bless you. I applaud your courage. Thank you.
Oh, well, thank you.
Yeah. No, thanks, Susan. People sincerely do appreciate what you're doing because obviously our Congress won't. That's what I think bothers me most is that the FBI and the DOJ are supposed to be about justice, right? That's what law is supposed to be indicative of. Nobody cares about justice or even doing their job.
No.
In fact, it's all a massive cover-up is what it is.
Yeah, you know what they care about? They care about keeping their jobs, keeping their cushy life, and their big pensions.
That's horrible.
They are immediate gratification kind of people and are not thinking 5 years ahead about what this country is going to be like.
No, I can't believe it. You know, it's. If I would think if one Tea Party candidate, or hey, even if you're lagging way behind, hey, Ron Paul, you supposedly stand for all of us, bring it up, have some balls, and it's not happening from any of them because either they figure the media will skewer them, or they will die, or there's some dire consequence. But if I was running there, hey, Herman Cain, bring it up. One of you, have some courage, have that morality and truth that Beck always talks about. Yet he went and, like said, and backstab all the birthers. Funny, you're dead ass wrong about that one, Glenn, but that's okay. And yeah, so I don't know if there's nobody to represent us, the people. And
I contacted Alan West's office twice.
Wow.
I contacted my own congressman 4 times.
Then what's going on behind the scenes? That means they're all just playing patty cake,
That's
hopscotch,
exactly right.
and a nice game of tiddlywinks, and nobody cares about the American people.
Nobody cares.
And they're refusing to listen to you. God, that makes me sick.
Well, what do you think my frustration level is?
Oh, I can only imagine.
This is going on 2 years now. I mean, if it had not been for Jerry Corsi, God bless him.
Yes,
because
we agree.
Jerry Corsi was the first person who paid any attention to me and immediately knew I had something and immediately wrote a story about it. And it was 6 months from the time it was maybe even longer than that, from the time I discovered this stuff until somebody told me about WorldNet Daily, and I just sent a blind email there and said, hey, look, I found some stuff. Does anybody care? I was so frustrated at that point. And within a half hour, I heard from Jerry Corsi.
That's wonderful because, Dr. Corsi, Captain America, as Jason so appropriately titled him.
I never heard that, but I like it.
I'm trying to spread the word. No one's listening to me.
Maybe he needs a cape. Maybe that'll make sense.
I told Rob the only difference between him and Captain America, he doesn't carry around a goofy shield. That's the only thing. He doesn't wear tights.
Yeah, I like Jerry. We stay in touch. I have questions I ask him that he has the answers for, and occasionally he'll contact me with a question.
Yeah, well, you know what's I think nice about this, Susan, is that with the Social Security number, since the Selective Service Registration 100% conclusively ties the fraud, there's no way. They've tried to dismiss the birther notion, even though the birth certificate is a horrible fake, and we're going to get into that with Mayor Zabest here in a little bit. But yours, I think, the Social Security number, the fake Connecticut Social Security number, is going to be what breaks this administration's back. Should any Republican politician actually choose to, uphold their constitutional oaths and to be a hero, so to speak?
You are exactly right. I early on realized I could see what was going on with the birth certificate. I found what I found, and I said, you know what? This is what you need to concentrate on, because they're going to be fighting over that birth certificate from now on. Those were my exact words. This is what's going to break his back, is the Social Security number.
Yes, and go to Long Live America on our media page. You can clearly see Susan's evidence. Susan, you're truly a hero. I can't tell you what a deep and profound...
No, I'm not a hero. I'm somebody that found something. To be perfectly honest, I hope to find it, pass it off to somebody else, and get out of the whole picture.
Well, you know what? But the factual evidence, 100% provable, tangible, empirical evidence is on our webpage, Long Live America, as well as many other sources. It's there to see. Nobody can dispute you. It clearly ties 100%. There's not even a little tiny bit somebody can argue it.
And Susan, we applaud your backbone for standing up for what you believe in.
Yes, thank you
as an
so
American.
very much. God bless you.
Well, I appreciate you putting the documents online like you did. I really do, because this way a lot of people will be able to see them.
That's right. Now we have the courage that no show in San Diego has. Has anybody ever interviewed you even in Southern California?
I think I did another show, but it's been quite a while, and I can't remember.
Yeah,
the name.
it's been that long. That's the point. Is that if you can't readily recollect it, it probably like we're saying. I don't know. I would love to hear who it was who even had one iota of courage, because we can't see anybody.
I believe it was a Christian radio station.
Okay, I wasn't one of these big so-called
Oh,
conservative
hell no.
talk. Hell no. Yeah,
That's perfect.
wimps and limp wrists and knock-kneed sissies, the whole lot of them around here. We're having to do all their dirty work, and then they just play off of us.
Well, I was so surprised to find that there were people like you out there.
Oh, there's plenty of us.
Yeah, just we don't have a
don't
voice.
be surprised. There's millions of us.
There's plenty of us.
Good.
No, well, Susan, is there anything else we need to know about the Social Security number? I think you've been exquisitely clear and definitive in all your responses.
I try to be pithy. I try to get through it, and if people have questions, I'm always happy to answer them. I do get calls constantly from all over the country, people that have listened to a radio show or something, and they'll call and they'll want to talk to me and see if I'm real and it's real. And let me assure your listeners, it's real. Yeah. I found the real deal. I found the goods on him.
Yes, and if anybody could factually dispute you, they would, but they can't, so they don't.
They tried to with the zip code thing. They tried to say that the zip code was a typographical error because Hawaii starts with 968, their zip codes, and Connecticut starts with 068. So they tried to say that no, it was a typo, and that's why he got it that way. Well, this is the only problem with that. The two zip codes he had in Hawaii were 96814 and 96826. So I went to the U.S. Postal Service website, looked up zip code, cities for zip codes, and learned that 06826 is a number that has never been assigned to any place as a zip code, and the 02614, which they say, that's Danville, I think, Connecticut. Well, the truth is, it's an APO box number. It's military only.
I see.
So every way they have tried to ridicule what I found, it's not working.
No, of course, this is, like I said, indisputable, 100% conclusive proof that Obama has been using a fake Connecticut Social Security number. There is no disputing it.
On the national press? Why?
Yeah. No, Susan, you know what? Do you want people getting in touch with you, or is this something?
I'll tell you what I'd love people to do is start hounding their congressman.
Yeah.
They're calling Darrell Issa, and I'll tell you why. I think Darrell Issa is doing a pretty good job with the Fast and Furious investigation, except I heard him say a couple of weeks ago that Eric Holder said he had only heard about it 3 or 4 weeks prior to that, and that was an outright lie. And Darrell Issa said, well, I have no reason not to believe him.
Oh, come
Wow.
on. Yeah,
Issa
Issa.
right.
Yeah, but in the meantime, I saw a speech that Eric Holder gave in Mexico 2 years ago that explained the whole project.
Well, there you go. Oh, my.
So
no.
you know what you do? You call your congressman. You threaten to not only withhold contributions, because that drives them crazy, but you also tell them, not only am I not going to donate anything to you, I'm not voting for you. I will vote for anybody who runs against you, and I will convince every friend, family member, and neighbor I have to do the same thing if you do not insist that an investigation be started over the Social Security number.
No, so
and that goes for everyone in San Diego, Orange County, and Los Angeles that can hear this radio show.
Yeah, no, and so you know what? So the DOJ and the FBI, you submitted your stuff to them, and they just gave you a cold shoulder?
Well, I sent a letter to Eric Holder and his minion, and one to Astro, who's the head of Social Security, and I told them that he is using a fraudulent number and could not have possibly had a Connecticut address, and that it was their responsibility to the citizens of this country to do an investigation. And I got a letter back from somebody at Social Security that I'd never heard of before, and his response is, we don't agree with your conclusion.
Yet they can't factually acknowledge it or dispute it.
Yeah, usually if they send you something back, it cites some case law or something. And all his says is, we don't agree with your conclusions.
No.
That's horrible.
No, it's ridiculous. You know
He's
what?
probably hanging on his fake wood table talking about communist Russia, but yeah, no, it's fine.
No, you know what, Susan, I can't thank you enough for your Audacity of Courage. I'm thinking of Barack Obama's, this fake autobiography, Audacity of Hope, or whatever. But, your courage, like I said, the fact is that you're one person that delves into the issue that nobody else would even touch, and that takes courage. And we on Long Live America commend you for that. Now, Susan Daniels, thank you so very much for joining us on Long Live America.
Thank you so much for having me. I really appreciate it.
No, we do too, and God bless you.
We love you.
Yeah, if you want to go to our website and check it out, longliveamerica.com, the media page, 100% definitive, conclusive proof Obama has, in fact, used a fake Connecticut Social Security number. View the documents for yourself. You can't factually dispute it, so you can try to rub our names through the mud. But that's fine, because a few of us here that are still patriots, they're willing to take a little kick in the ass, because we'll be giving you a good old-fashioned ass kicking in due time
Rob,
here to come.
What does that mean? What does that mean, a fake Social Security number, for these people that don't know? The people might just think it's, Social Security, but couldn't that mean obviously he's not a citizen?
It means that, the evidence would suggest that not only is it an impeachable offense, obviously he's committing a felony, which is what it is, but the fact is it's, along with all the other covered-up records, this is actually one of many in Barack's case, isn't it?
Sure.
If that is his real name.
Lifelong criminal and fraud.
This might be his 8th war.
I know. So that was that. Thank you, Susan Daniels.
The only people who don't want to disclose the truth are people with something to hide.